Did you know that actor Evan Peters, who plays Jeffrey Dahmer in the 2022 series, says of the serial killer role that they had one rule from creator Ryan Murphy to follow going into the series, that it would never be told from Dahmer's point of view. As an audience, you're not really sympathizing with him. You're not really getting into his plight. You're more sort of watching it, from the outside. Did you know that although it's not exactly explicitly said in the 2022 series Dahmer, Jeffrey Dahmer was actually given an honorable discharge from the United States Army in 1981? Dahmer's performance had deteriorated due to his excessive drinking, and in March 1981, his superiors decided that Dahmer's drinking impaired his ability to function as a soldier, but because no one in charge thought that his drinking and performance problems would have a significant impact on his ability to function in civilian life, he was able to get the honorable discharge. Did you know that the scene in the 2022 series Dahmer, where Jeffrey Dahmer offers his neighbor, Glenda Cleveland, a sandwich, is actually based on real events? Reportedly, it did happen in real life, and Dahmer's neighbors do actually believe that they'd been offered human meat by the serial killer before. Did you know that the 2022 series Dahmer has actually received criticism from family members of some of the victims? On social media, a cousin of victim Errol Lindsay wrote that he would not be watching the series, which has caused his family fresh pain. I'm not telling anyone what to watch. I know true crime media is huge right now, but if you're actually curious about the victims, my family are pissed about this show. Did you know that according to prison records, while he was in prison, Jeffrey Dahmer received more than $12,000 from different people who wrote him letters around the world? And a 74-year-old nun actually sent him $10 to reimburse Dahmer for postage on 2 art books he mailed to her. The gifts were sent from as far away as South Africa and France, and include a $5,920 donation from a woman in London. Did you know that although he's not mentioned often in the 2022 series, Jeffrey Dahmer actually had a younger brother named David, who was 6 years younger than him? It's actually reported that Jeffrey was the one who named his little brother when he was born. After the discovery of Jeffrey's crimes in 1991 and his conviction, David Dahmer decided to change his name and disappear from public. According to reports, David graduated from the University of Cincinnati, Ohio, and has a stable career. He also reportedly has a family and at least 2 children. Did you know that the portrayal of the 2 Milwaukee police officers who handed a naked, bleeding 14-year-old boy back over to serial killer and cannibal Jeffrey Dahmer in the 2022 series is actually quite accurate? After an investigation in 1991, the 2 officers were fired. About 3 years later, however, they were both reinstated on a decision reached by the Fire and Police Commission. Both were also given $55,000 in back pay. At the time, Police Association President Bradley Nebraska called the decision, quote, gutless. Perhaps the most horrifying thing, however, is that John Bolserac would later be elected as the president of the Milwaukee Police Association, the police union for Milwaukee officers. He held the office from 2005 to 2009 and later retired in 2017. Did you know that prison inmate Christopher Scarver, who ended up killing Jeffrey Dahmer, claimed to the New York Post that guards left him alone with Dahmer on purpose because they wanted an inmate to kill him? He also underwent a mental examination and suggested that prison food might have led him to kill Dahmer. Certain foods I eat cause me to have a psychotic break. Bread, refined sugar, those are the main culprits. Did you know that although it's not mentioned in the 2022 series Dahmer, Rita Isbell, who is the sister of Errol Lindsay, who was victimized by Dahmer, claimed that she would often receive phone calls from prison inmates who assured her that they would take care of Dahmer? "You don't know me. I'm up here with Jeffrey Dahmer. Don't worry, we'll take care of it." She quoted that to the New York Times about the calls, which lasted 2 years. "I wouldn't say I wanted it to happen like this," she said, "but Jeffrey tore my family up." Did you know that in the 2022 series Dahmer, the episode titled Cassandra actually refers to the Trojan priestess figure in Greek mythology? Cassandra was dedicated to the god Apollo and fated by him to utter true prophecies but never to be believed. It relates to the series because the late Glenda Cleveland was the metaphorical Cassandra, as her concerns and attempts to report the activities of her neighbor Jeffrey Dahmer were often ignored by police. Did you know that there's been a huge backlash about the 2022 series Dahmer because Netflix apparently decided not to inform the victimized families that they were working on this series? Shirley Hughes, the mother of Tony Hughes, who was victimized by Dahmer, told The Guardian in October, quote, "I don't see how they can do that. I don't see how they can use our names and put stuff like that out there. It hurts," she said. "It hurts real bad, but you have to trust and pray and just keep going day by day." Did you know that the 2022 series Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, was actually originally called just Dahmer? They changed the name to that much longer version, however, to not be confused with the 2002 film called Dahmer that starred Jeremy Renner. Did you know that Netflix originally tagged the 2022 series Dahmer as an LGBTQ-friendly series? This created a huge backlash among many people, saying that it was, quote, "not the representation we're looking for." Since the backlash, Netflix decided to remove the tag.